If I go to school, it's of no use because he's not interested. Nothing goes into my head. He cannot show his creativity. That is why he says, I cannot sit inside the classroom under the cruel outburn of the teacher. How can you expect the bird to enjoy the nature? Is it possible? Really not. Once you enter into the golden cage, what happens? You will be imprisoned. You will be under the strict surveillance of the teacher. Hello everyone, I'm Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysuru. In my previous session, I had discussed the prose, the gentleman of the jungle. So here what happens in the story? An elephant makes a friendship with the man and the elephant tries to occupy the hut. Later, the commission of inquiry was appointed, but there was no justice given to the man. Each and every time it was injustice. Until each and every animals got the hut, the man keep on building the hut. But at last, the man couldn't tolerate. So what did he do? He built a bigger and a better hut so that all animals gathered together and they were just fighting for their places in that bigger hut. When the man saw all the animals put together, he burned the hut completely, and by saying that peace is costly but it's worth the expense. This was the story of the gentleman of the jungle. You just finished your post-10th. You all have had dreams. It means to say that man proposes and God disposes. So, I have something for you, but something is stored for you. Something is that in your first PUC textbook that interests you a lot. I bring to you confined to your era, confined to your nature, confined to your days. And that's the poem, The School Boy by William Blake. So William Blake, who's William Blake here? William Blake is a poet and a painter. He's a poet and a painter. He had little formal education but was appreciated by James Bizer, an eminent engraver, and then sent to Royal Academy. He's a poet and a painter, and William Blake had little formal education. His finest work, which was his finest work here? His finest work as an artist is a series, Inventions to the Book of Job, is one of the finest work by William Blake. His collection of poetry includes poetical sketches, songs of innocence, marriage of heaven and hell, and songs of experience. These are the few poetry written by William Blake. The Schoolboy is a lyric from the Songs of Experience. From where the Schoolboy is taken from? It is the lyric taken from the Song of Experience. Here is not against any kind of education, that is from formal to an informal way. In the olden days, what happens in the sense, the students used to sit outside the nature and there was a guru who used to teach them amidst the nature. But as the generation changes, the education system also has changed. Now you need to sit under the concrete classroom where you need to listen to the teachers. So let's see what's the story about or the poem about. So before moving on to the poetry, I have something here. Do you want to look lovely in your uniform? By looking into this picture, yes, of course. You look pretty with your uniform. You look kiddish also. So each and everyone likes to wear the uniform. Next, want to make friends. Of course, yes, you want to make friends, but at this situation, you really need friends a lot in this kind of a situation. Want to know your teacher? Do you want to know more about your teacher? If yes, of course it's yes, then you need to come for school to know more about your teacher, where she guides you, she mentors you, and she gives you a good moral values. Want to be educated? Yes, it's very important in your life. Each and every student need to be educated. So if you want to be educated, if you want to get a certificate when you finish your PU as well as your degree, you need to be attending the schools as well as colleges. To witness all these things, You are ought to be a student in a school. So if you want to witness all these things, what you want to be? You want to be a student in a school, or else it's not possible. This is what William Blake says here. So without further ado, let's begin the poetry. Ah, the new dawn. So it's in the exclamatory mark. So let's see why the boy is not willing to go to school. I love to rise in a summer morn. Morn is morning. What is morn? Morn is morning. So this morn is used in the olden days. In the olden days, they used to say morn for morning. So here, the boy loved to rise in the morning. When the birds sing on every tree. Here, birds refers to nature. Tree refers to nature again. The distant huntsman winds his horn. So what is this huntsman here? Huntsman is a person who is hunting amidst the nature. He is connected with the nature. So he says, so the distant huntsman winds his horn. Here, it doesn't mean to say that he's a jungle boy. He is totally connected with the nature. He is enjoying the beauty of nature. And the skylark sings with me. Skylark is a beautiful bird which is chirping with me. So when he listens to all these things, he feels very happy to wake up early in the summer morn. Oh, what sweet company. When he sees all this, he feels that he is having a very good company amidst the nature, because the boy loves to enjoy the nature, but he's not willing to go to school. He is reluctant. He doesn't want to go to school. He wants to enjoy the nature. He wants his schooling to happen in the nature. So here, when he rises early in the morning, when he listens to all these things, he's not willing, he's unwilling to go to school. It means to say that as he sees new sunrise, he witnessed to be a new morning also. That is why he's not ready to go to school. The next, but to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Then at times I drooping sit. So what does he say here? But go to school on a summer morn. He loves to go to school. That is only when he is amidst the nature, when he enjoys with the nature, he loves to go to school. But now here, he is reluctant because he has to sit in the concrete wall, that is the four walls inside that he has to sit and listen to the class, where he is not ready for that. So he says, it drives all joy away. So I'm drooped out. My energy is drained out, where I'm not ready to go and sit there. I cannot utilize my creativity. Whatever the creativity he has, he cannot expose it under the four walls. He wants to expose it amidst the nature. So he's not willing to go to school. Under a cruel eye outworn. So what happens here? What is this referred to? Cruel eye is referred to the teacher here. For whom it is referred? It is referred to the teacher. Why it is referred to the teacher? Because once you enter inside the class, you will be under the strict surveillance of the teacher. The teacher will be investigating you. The teacher acts like a policeman. More than a policeman, she'll be a CBI here. Why? Because she'll be under the strict authoritative. And what happens there, in the sense, even inside the classroom, she has to investigate the students. For this purpose, he is not ready to go. He is reluctant. He stands back. He cannot show his creativity. That is why he says, I cannot sit inside the classroom under the cruel outburn of the teacher. The little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. So what is sighing here? Sighing is angry. He is angry, and dismay is pain. So it is Sighing is sorrow, dismay is pain. Sorrow refers to pain, pain refers to sorrow. What is draining here? What is draining his energy here? It is the cruel outward of the teacher is draining his energy here. So he says, the little one spends the day. So when he sees the small children playing, laughing, enjoying in the nature, when he sees all these things, he just says, but only I am who is not able to enjoy the nature where I have to go and sit inside the concrete classroom. And he says, I am reluctant. I don't want to go and enjoy that kind of education. That is what the schoolboy feels here. Then at times a drooping sit. With very great difficulty, I have to sit where I'm not interested. I'm getting irritated to sit inside the classroom because the teacher will be seeing us, looking at me. At that time, I'll be irritated to sit inside the class where I'm drooping down, where I'm losing all my creativity. I cannot expose my creativity. That's what the boy says here. Let's see further what happens. Few and this comes. Let's see what happens. And spend many an anxious heart. Nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's bower. On through with the daily shower. So what he says, I spend my anxious hour. So where he's spending his anxious hour? He's spending his anxious hours, that is in the classroom. So what do you mean by anxious hour? He sits inside the classroom without any expectations, without misery, without life he is sitting. He is like life with death. He's having everything, but he's like a dead person. He has lots of creativity, but he cannot enjoy that creativity. He loves to enjoy where? He loves to show his creativity where? It's amidst the nature, but it is not possible for him to do that. So, nor in my book can I take delight. Why do you go to school? Of course, to study. But here he says, if I go to school, it's of no use because he's not interested. Nothing goes into my head. I cannot take the delight. I cannot give that happiness. I don't get any kind of happiness when I'm sitting inside the classroom. Nor sit in learning's bower. So delight, what happens here in the sense? So after you finish, how many subjects do you have in your schooling? That you need to study social studies, you need to study science, English, mathematics. So one after the other, the teacher comes into the classroom, they start teaching, and you don't have any leisure. What you have to do, the only thing is study, study, and study. That's what you have to do. You don't have any freedom there because you'll be under the strict civilians of the teacher. The teacher will be keep observing you. But here he says, the book I cannot take any delight. It's not giving me any happiness. I'm drooping down. I'm draining myself day by day. Nor sit in learning's bower. Bower is a German word. What is this? Bower is a German word. So it means to say that it's a cage. So here the school is equal to cage. I repeat, what a school is equal? The school is equal to cage. So here bower, it's referred to a cage. Even though if the cage is built with the gold or the diamond with lot of space inside, what do? Are you ready to sit? Yes, it is a beautiful cage. Once you enter into the golden cage, what happens? You will be imprisoned. You will be under the strict civilians of the teacher. So it is not very easy to come out of the prison. You have to work a lot. So he says, if it is a golden cage also, I don't want to go and sit inside the classroom, that is inside the concrete wall. My creativity is totally different. I want to sit outside the nature and learn. That is what I want in my life. But it is not possible for the boy to get all those things. So he says, learning's bower. Sitting inside the cage is not my kind of a learning. I get irritated. I don't want to sit there. Went through a daily shower. It means to say that he is tired. He is tired of everything, where he cannot expose his creativity. He cannot sit amidst the nature and study. So he is reluctant. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? For example, if money and freedom is given to you, which one would you like to choose? Is it money or the freedom? You might choose money, but here the boy says no, it is not the money, it's important for him. He needs a freedom. Freedom is luxury for him. So in this situation, what the boy wants here, he wants luxurious freedom where he can emit the nature. How can the bird that is born for joy? So the bird is born for joy. The bird, what happens? The bird loves to enjoy the nature. It loves to fly in the nature. So when it loves to fly in the nature, if the bird is caged, if the bird is put inside the cage, so many of them have the cage at your place, maybe a lovebirds or the parrots. So it is put inside the cage, and what happens there? Lots of space will be there, but the bird doesn't enjoy the nature because it is inside the cage. It just sees outside the nature. It will be keep seeing that, but it cannot fly like other birds because it is caged. The same thing here with the boy. He loves to enjoy the nature, but he is caged. He is imprisoned in the four walls of the room. Sit in a cage and sing. When the bird is put inside the cage, and how can you expect the bird to sing? That is, how can you expect the bird to enjoy the nature? Is it possible? Really not. It is not possible for the bird to enjoy the nature because it is caged, it is imprisoned. How can a child when fears annoy? So, when the birds cannot enjoy, how can a child? How can I enjoy my youthful days? Because this is the time where I can enjoy my days, where I can have lots of memories. But when I'm caged inside the four concrete walls, how can I have a memories of my schoolings? But drooped his tender wing. So what happens here in the sense, if the bird is caged inside and if you try to leave it out, so it cannot fly, it is drooped. It is like life with death. It has life, but it has become like a death. His wings are dead. It cannot fly anymore. That is what the boy says here. Even my arm drooped down. My creativity is drooped down, it's drained out. So I don't have any kind of pleasure here, any kind of happiness. And forget this youthful spring. Youthful spring here is this is the time where I have to enjoy my life, where I can have lots of memories, where I have to create lot of things in my life so that I can say this is my schoolings. So this kind of happiness, where do I get? I have not got anything. You have drained out my life by not giving me the amidst the nature of education. Here, the writer or the author, William Blake, is not against any kind of formal to an informal education. He just says that as the generation changes, even the education system also changes. But only the thing is that we need to give them the education. But whatever the education we give them, it should not be like a punishment. But the kids or this boy here, they wants to enjoy and learn themselves something. We cannot impose our ideas and thoughts on the children. Oh, father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, by sorrow and case dismay. So here, what is the author saying? He is just putting a word to the father and mother. Who father and mother? If birds are nipped, nipped in the sense plucked. When you see the bud in a flower pot, and when it is a bud itself, if you pluck it, what happens? Does the bud bloom? Does it blossom? No, it doesn't blossom. That's what he says. I have to flourish myself. I have lots of creativity where I can expose myself, but you have nipped my creativity. The boy, what he says in the sense, I'm totally drooped down here where I cannot expose my creativity. And if the tender plants are stripped, tender plants, when the plants is growing, you just try to cut. Stripped is cut. If the plant is cut, what happens? Of the joy in the springing day. So during the springing day, if the plant is cut and if you want to bear a fruit, if you want to get a fruit, if you want to pluck a fruit from that tree, is it possible? No, it's not possible because it is uprooted. There is no plant there. How can it bear a fruit then when the plant itself is cut? It means to say about the boy here, it is springing days is compared to the boy's happiness here. So this is the time for me to flourish. You want all kinds of happiness in your life. You want me to flourish, but did you leave me? You never left me to flourish. You have chopped me. You have cut me. You have uprooted me when I want to enjoy myself, my creativity, everything is uprooted. Then how can you say that you want me to flourish? By sorrow and case dismay. Sorrow with is pain. With lot of pain, he says that I am totally dead. I have not even done anything in my life. But whatever the creativity I had, everything is closed and kept. I cannot enjoy. I cannot sit inside the classroom and study. So what he says that I'm nipped, I'm plucked and I'm uprooted. I cannot flourish anymore. How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer's fruit appear? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy? Or bless the mellowing year when the blasts of winter appear? So here, how shall the summer arise in joy? When I have to flourish in my life, how can I flourish? It's not possible. So I love to enjoy the nature that is in the amidst the nature in the summer morn. But everything is done and dusted because I couldn't enjoy my education amidst the nature. Or the summer fruits appear here. What happens during the time of the summer? If the plant itself is uprooted or if the plant is cut, how can it bear a fruit during that time of a summer? It's not possible. You cannot have a fruit in the summer when the plant itself is not there. The same thing with the boy here. His dreams, everything is shattered into pieces. So whatever the dreams he had, he couldn't achieve it. Everything is uprooted here. Oh, how shall we gather what griefs destroy? Or bless the mellowing year. Mellowing is a smooth year. So when my dreams are shattered into pieces, how can I enjoy the smooth year now? It's not possible with me. I'm completely drained out. I'm nothing into this world. Because whatever the creativity he has, everything is kept inside him. Where he wants to show his creativity here, the boy loves to show his creativity amidst the nature. He wants to enjoy the nature and get educated when the blast of winter appears. So once the winter appears, of course the summer has to come. But what happens here? Whatever the joyful memories I should have in my youthful days, I did not have any such memories. Everything is destroyed. When everything is destroyed, and how can you ask me to flourish in my life? How can you say that I need to come up in my life? It is not possible because I'm drained out with my energy where I cannot sit inside the four walls of the classroom. So here, the boy loves to wake up in a summer morn, but he doesn't want to sit under the cruel outline of the teacher, that is the cage. He doesn't want to be inside the cage, that is the four walls, the concrete walls inside the classroom. He wants to enjoy the education amidst the nature where he couldn't flourish till the end. Whatever the memories he wanted to collect in his schoolings, it was not possible because he feels that the classroom itself is like a cage. It's like an imprisonment for him. So, till the end, he says, when such education system is there, he cannot flourish. That is what the boy feels here. So, let's see what's next. Here is the glossary, which is nothing out of the text. Just have a glance with these meanings from your textbook. So, what is the weightage of the chapter? What the schoolboy can give you from this chapter? Put together, the weightage of this poem is for 5 marks. What is the weightage of this poem? The weightage is 5 marks. You have 1 mark, 1 question, 4 marks, 1 question. That will be the weightage. So put together it's for 5 marks. I hope you have understood the poetry, The Schoolboy. I'll be back at with another session with Around a Medicinal Creeper. Until then, take care. Thank you.